Good morning, I'm Javier.
And I'm Gretchen.
And this is Good Mornings with Sleepwell. And this morning we're going to be talking about the heat. And that is our topic for this week, next week, and the week after. And I'm really looking forward to covering a whole lot of this stuff. But first I want to ask you how you've been.
I've been good. I've been getting to dabble a little bit more here and there on decor, and we've already placed an order.
Yep.
Yay! And I've been researching daily, literally daily, different websites, seeing different things that are out there, things that are in the fashion market, and trying to learn how to construct things. So
Yep.
I'm super excited.
And then you're starting the interior design thing here pretty quick. And then I kind of want to do it too, but I really think I'm going to not be so good because I am not the artsy-fartsy one. I am the analytical one, so I don't know. We'll see.
Well, everyone has an opinion, and your opinion still counts. So maybe you can just help by helping me.
Still counts?
Well, yeah, it still counts. At some point, I think in marriage, your opinion just kind of gets less. But it doesn't mean it doesn't matter.
Oh, okay. Anyways, all right. So I also wanted to talk about, let's see, the excitement that occurred yesterday in Carlsbad. We started our business-to-business arm, and you were the head of that, so congratulations on that.
Thank you.
I love handing all this stuff off to her because that means that I get to concentrate on other growth areas that I can pitch at her later. So, no, our incredible team in Carlsbad has been managing that store wonderfully. Our Alamogordo store continues to be great, and we want to thank both communities. And I just want to show my appreciation to everybody. Thank you very much.
Yes.
So today's topic is heat and sleep. And if you go ahead and start introducing, I need to get in the mood.
As you can see, part of the calming phase of falling asleep requires your temperature to drop. And even though he has sprayed himself to cool off,
I think that was Downy water.
You're not allowed to go to sleep. And yeah, if that was from the back, it is Downy water. So now your face will lose its wrinkles. Yay! Oh, anyways.
So the whole point of that was you need to be cooled off in order to really go to sleep.
And our body naturally produces sweat to cool off because as it produces water on the surface of the skin and air passes over that, it cools you.
Yeah.
Hence
So
Javier.
I'm feeling really cool right now.
And wrinkle-free.
And because it was Downy water, wrinkle-free, yes.
Right?
Yeah. So so here's the gist of the matter. Your body responds to heat in a very negative way when it comes to sleep. We walk around, everybody knows we walk around normally throughout the day, or on average at a 98.6, okay? What happens is throughout the day, our body temperatures fluctuate. During our busiest times, our body temperatures are actually higher than a 98.6. Okay? So right around, what happens is your circadian rhythm and your body kicks in, and right around 6 p.m., your body starts lowering its temperature just a little bit at a time, just little integral degrees, okay? Ending up to right around your bedtime, your body at most points will lower its body temperature by 2 degrees.
Which is pretty awesome if you think about the processes in which your body has to self-regulate itself. And this kind of goes into more ideas on how we can help our body self-regulate by offering you tips that you can try to sleep cooler.
Yeah, because I mean, let's face it, Alamogordo is not a very cool spot. Our average temperatures are, during the summer are over 100, and then you get to our new community of Carlsbad, and everything that we've seen, including one of the church light-up billboards that was already reading 102 yesterday. It gets pretty warm over there as well. So we as a company, because we've really taken time in researching, spine support on our beds, now we're having to think in different terms of, hey, we're going to need not only spine support, but now we're demanding from our manufacturers, hey, we're going to need beds that are cooler sleeping as well. And luckily, we've had some manufacturers that have some wonderful product out there. So we're going to get into that with this series. It's a 3-part series. Today's is we want to cover a little bit about, what the body does and how we can give you some tips today on easy tips on doing this, and then we'll cover materials and stuff that the manufacturers are doing. So I know you've written down quite a few tips, and wow, okay. I don't know about that sleep naked one, but you can get into that. Do you want to go over a couple?
Well, since you hit the nail on the head right there, something very important is to allow air to pass over your body as you sleep. Obviously, sleeping naked would be a very easy solution there. If you're not comfortable with sleeping naked, it's understandable, especially if you're traveling and you're in a hotel. The last thing you want to worry about is an alarm going off in the middle of the night. That could be bad.
Yeah.
So just wear like very natural fabric, like cotton, and wear light materials. You don't want things that are constricting to your body. You want things that flow of your body. So no like spandex material or anything of that such. You want natural materials, and that will allow better air to flow over you.
One of the things that with the better air flowing over you, that a lot of the studies that I read talk about is it's a really good idea to take a warm bath an hour to half an hour before you go to bed. And that sounds like, well, why? Well, what happens is you take a warm bath, it raises your body temperature, right? But then you get out into a colder room, a cooler room, and the process of the water just coming off of you, it cools you down. It's evaporation of the water. It cools you down and can actually help you bring down your body temperature even faster. So that's one tip that I really liked out of the reading that I did.
I've actually taken drastic measures at times when it's really hot outside, to opening up the refrigerator and just standing there for a minute and looking through the refrigerator without touching anything, just holding the door open, intentionally to get that extra cold air, which you can also do with the freezer door. But I wouldn't say that should be like a nightly practice, but adding that jolt of coldness all at once sometimes helps a lot. Same thing with your feet. I don't know about you, but like I can't sleep with socks. Even during the winter time, if I sleep with socks, it has to be really cold outside. Because your feet really do let off a lot of, hot temperature that you're feeling, as well as your head. You produce head, feet, heat, okay? So you want to keep your head uncovered. You want to keep your feet, at least no socks. I'm a side sleeper, so I don't mind kicking my foot out from under the sheet even. Just having that one foot out, it makes a big difference.
But you have to keep it away from the edge of the bed because a monster will get you. But I do want to talk a little bit about what she said about feet and hands. I want to throw hands into the mix. So there is a theory out there. I don't think it's theory. I think it's actually thermal imaging has shown that if your hands, if you keep your hands warm, it's like a process of heat being drawn away from your body to your hands being warm. I'm not sure where I read that. I know it was recent, but one of the heat tips that I've read recently was that you want to keep your hand warm. You don't want to keep it cold, because I guess what happens is your body uses that to actually push the heat away from itself. So that's one thing to keep in mind as well.
That's interesting, because when you think about like hypothermia and stuff, your body will naturally slow blood flow to all of your extremities to keep your core warm, which is why you get frostbite and fingertips, toes, and nose.
So you have written on there window open slightly, but just make sure that you have a screen because of the skeeters around here.
Yeah, well, with that as well, it depends on where you live. I mean, sometimes that's a safety issue. But if you have the window open, having that fresh air just flow through the window throughout the evening helps create a nice simple breeze, plus it brings in fresh air, so it just keeps the circulation going, especially if you have an air conditioning running in the evening, because it tends to want to cycle out of the house, especially for us, which I know some people have no idea what this is, but we have what are called swamp coolers here in the desert because we don't have very much humidity in the air. So not only do they cool, but they also add humidity to the air, so we're able to breathe and sleep and enjoy life a little better because it's very dry here.
Yeah, it's very dry. One of the things that's interesting, and this adds a little bit more science on she'll cover the really down-to-earth parts. I like the science parts. So what happens is, like, we're talking about lowering your body temperature or whatnot, but a cool fact here is your brain actually increases in temperature during sleep. And that's really weird, because so your body's cooling, and the whole point of this is to, we're giving you tips to cool down your body, but your brain will actually heat up during sleep. A lot of people think that the brain shuts down, but it really doesn't. It's actually more active, flushing out the toxins and proteins that'll build up and plaque your brain or whatnot. But that's the importance of sleep, is that's really what's going on. But your brain will actually heat up. It's really cool.
And that makes a lot of sense because your brain remains so active during sleep, whereas the rest of our extremities aren't.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So all the blood and everything is remaining where the activity is. That makes sense.
Yep.
Another thing is hydration. Here in the desert especially, we suffer from hydration. We do not drink enough water. We're supposed to drink half our body weight in ounces of water, which means if you weigh 100 pounds, you're supposed to drink 50 ounces of water a day. So just to keep in mind, before you go to sleep, if you're able, I know some people may have sensitive bladders and stuff, but if you're able, drink a cool glass, not cold, but cool glass of water before going to bed. And they say do it maybe about 30 minutes prior. So if you do need to go to the restroom, you can prior to bed. But that water will actually help cool your insides. Again, you don't want to drink cold because then your body is really working hard to actually warm up the water. Mm-hmm. So you don't want to activate that. But drinking cool to tepid water, just room temperature or maybe slightly cooler, actually does help, and it does make a difference on your sleep temperature.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've actually had to experience that from like when I used to be the runner and a mountain biker, was not use ice water because your body actually produces more heat to heat itself back up to a regulated temperature. So
Right.
yeah.
Not only that, if you happen to sweat when you sleep, you need to stay hydrated.
Mm-hmm.
So it benefits you either way.
Mm-hmm. So that's all the info I have, and what do you got?
That's pretty much it.
Okay.
There's one more tip on here. I mean, and this isn't ideal for everybody, but if you can crank up or turn down, just crank it up, your air conditioner, maybe about 30 minutes prior to bed, just to make your house a bit cooler. Your ideal temperature for sleeping is between 60 to 67 degrees Fahrenheit. So if you're able to bring the temperature of your house down prior to bed, that will actually help you sleep and stay asleep.
Yep.
So.
Yep, and that'll help you. So to recap this, this was our tip episode. Next week we are going to be covering different materials that manufacturers use in their mattress design to keep you cool at night and help you sleep better. We will have coverage from what we almost have, like, I bet you we have about 8 models that are considered sleep cool models. So we'll be sharing a lot of that technology, and Gretchen will give us firsthand a display of breathable sheets. This is going to be the fun part. I'm going to make her do it. So till next week, we will see you, and thank you for staying and watching with us.
And don't forget, when you sleep well,
you live well.
Bye-bye.
Bye.